Good morning students. Today we'll discuss about evaluation or your QC test of your hard gelatin capsules. It's a very important question from final exam point of view. Write about the evaluation or QC test for your hard gelatin capsules. Okay, so the evaluation test includes your weight variation test, content uniformity test, in vitro testing and your solubility testing. So these are your evaluation tests. So first today we'll discuss about the weight variation test. So in this what you will do is you will take 20 intact capsules and you will weigh them individually. Similar to your tablets, you will take 20 capsules and you will weigh each capsule individually. Then you will determine the average weight of capsules. Okay. Test requirements are met if none of the individual weights are less than 90% or more than 110% of the average weight. So let me explain this to you. So you are taking 1, 2, 3, 4 till 20 capsules you are taking. Okay, let us suppose this capsule weight will be 510 mg. Okay, you are determining the average weight. The average weight, let us suppose it is 500 mg. The average weight of 20 capsules, average weight is 500 mg. Okay, individual capsule weight, suppose in one case it is 510, in one case it is 520, in another case it is 490. Like that it can be till 20 individual weights. All if you take average you will get 500 mg. Okay, so the test requirements are met if none of the individual weight are less than 90%. 10% of 500 mg is 50 mg, right? So 90% of the average weight means what? 450 mg. 90% of the average weight is 450 mg. 110% of the average weight. How much will be 110%? Just 100% is 500 mg. So you have to add 10%. So it becomes 110%. So 500 plus 50, it becomes 550 mg. So all of the weights which you are doing, these individual weights, they should be in the range of 450 to 550 mg. So this is a test requirement. Your capsules are set to pass the test if they are within the 90 range. If they are within the range of 90 to 110% of the average weight. So your average weight is 500 mg. 90% of the average weight means 450 mg. 110% of the average weight means 550 mg. So the test requirements are met if none of the individual weight, that means none of the capsules should deviate within from this range. All of the capsules should be within the range of 450 to 550 mg. Suppose in any case, if only one capsule is also differing from this range, then you have to further proceed with the test. So what is that? We'll discuss now. So first you should understand this. This is same as that of your tablets. You are taking 20 capsules, you are weighing them individually, you are finding out the average weight and all of the range, the weight of the individual capsules, they should be in between 90 to 110% of the average weight. Okay, so this is your first criteria. If all the capsules pass, then the capsules are set to pass the test. But suppose even one of them is out of this range, then you have to repeat the test. Okay, then what is that test? We'll discuss now. That if even one of the capsule is failing this criteria, then what you have to do. Okay, so if the original 20 does not meet this criteria, so as we have discussed, if the original 20 does not meet this criteria, then what you are doing, the individual net weights are determined. Individual net weight, what do you mean by individual net weight? I'll tell you. You will find out the average individual net weight and then you will find out the difference between each individual net content and the average. So what is individual net weight? Is nothing but this is a hard gelatin capsule. I have told you, suppose this weight is 500 mg. Individual net weight means you will remove the cap and body. Whatever the filled content is there, you will weigh. That means total weight minus capsule, empty capsule weight. So first, initially you have taken total capsule weight. Excuse me. Now, you will open the capsule, take out all the content from the capsule. So the empty capsule weight you will get. Okay, so if you do 500 minus, suppose empty capsule weight is 200 mg. Then you are getting what? 300 mg. So this is the individual net weight of the capsule. This is the net weight of the capsule, NW. This is your net weight. Okay, so what you are doing, for all the 20 capsules you are determining the net weight. So let us say for one capsule it is 300. So for another it will be 290. For another it will be 270. Like that you will determine the individual net weights and you will come to an average. You will take out the average of the 20 20 capsules. You will take average of the 20 capsules. Let us suppose the average weight, the net weight of the average 20 capsule, average weight is 300 mg. Okay, let us suppose that the average weight, that is net weight of the average of the net weight, average of the net weight of the 20 capsules is 300 mg. Then what are your requirements? I'll read out again. If the original 20 does not meet this criteria, the individual net weights are determined. They are average. You are determining the individual net weights, you are finding out the average. And the differences are determined between each individual net content and the average. So you are finding out the difference between average weight and individual weight. Suppose 300 minus 290 is equal to how much? 10 mg. 300 minus 270 is equal to 30. 300 minus 300 here is 0 mg. So here you are finding out the difference, 0 mg, 10 mg, 30 mg. Okay, you are finding the difference between the individual net content, individual net weight and the average weight. The test requirements are met if not more than 2 of the individual differences are greater than 10% of the average. So what do you mean by 10%? What is 10% of the average weight? 30 mg, right? 30 mg. So whenever you are finding this difference should not exceed 10%. Here it is 10 mg, so it is less than 10%, it is less than 30 mg na? So it is said to pass the test. Here it is 30 mg, it is equal, so it is said to pass the test. Suppose if the one capsule weight is 260 mg net weight and the difference is, the average weight is 300, so the difference becomes 40 mg. So it is greater than 10%, right? So not more than 2 should be greater than 10%. That means the difference should not be more than 30 mg in 2 of the capsules. Okay, so this is your one requirement. And in no capsule the difference is greater than 25%. No capsule means what is 25% of 300 mg? 10% is 30. So 20% will be 60. So 25% will be 75 mg, right? So 75 mg means 25%. So that means none of the individual capsules should be outside the range of, if you subtract 75 from 300 it is 225. If you add 75 to 300 it becomes 375. So none of the tablets, none of the capsules should be outside 225 to 375 mg. See, you are getting 300 mg as the net weight. So how can it differ so much? It should not differ. That is why that is the requirement. Not even a single capsule should differ in the range. It should be outside 225 to 375 mg. And 2 can differ by 10%. So 10% is only 30 mg. So there can be 30 mg variation. But not more in that too, in not more than 2. You are getting my point? If the first criteria is not satisfied, then this you have to proceed. Even if this is not satisfied, then we have to proceed with one more requirement. So if you understand this, we can proceed with the next one. Okay. So it is very simple. You will take the net weight of in 20 capsules. You will find out the average weight. You will take the difference of average weight and individual net weight. It is 10 mg, 20 mg, 30 mg, 40 mg. So not more than 2 should differ by more than 10% of the average. 10% of the average weight is a 30 mg. And in no case the difference is greater than 25%. 25% of 300 mg means it will be 75 mg. See, 75 mg difference is a big difference. So none of the capsules should be less than 225 mg and more than 375 mg. Even if this criteria is not met, then you have to proceed with another 40 capsules. So 20 here plus 40. So it becomes total 60 capsules. So let us discuss that now. Okay. If more than 2 but less than 6 net weights determined by the test deviate by more than 10%. Okay, so that means what he told, 2 capsules can differ by 10%. But if suppose when you are doing for 20, if more than 2 capsules are differing by 10% but less than 25%, that is the case. Less than 25% is obviously will be there. But they are differing by more than 10%, more than 2 capsules. Then you will determine the net weight or the net content for additional 40 capsules. As I have told you, you will determine the net weight for additional 40 capsules. So that means now you are doing for 60 capsules. So the same test like you have done here, same here you will do with 60 capsules. You will find out the average of 60 capsules. Okay. and 60 deviations from the new average are calculated. Deviations is nothing but, as I have told you, 300 mg is your average weight. In one case, suppose it is 260 mg, so the deviation is 40 mg. So in all the 60 capsules from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to all the 60 capsules, you will calculate the deviation of the individual weight from the average weight. Okay, and the requirements will be met if the difference does not exceed 10% of the average in more than 6. So out of 60 capsules, in 6 capsules, the difference should not exceed 10%. Similar to here, the difference should not exceed 10% in 2 capsules. Here, it should not exceed in more than 6 capsules. That means 6 capsules can deviate by 10% of the average weight. And if in no case any difference exceeds 25%, the same here. The 25% of the average weight, no capsule should differ by more than 25% of the average weight. Okay, so this is very, very simple. If you just take, I just took an example for you in order to make you understand. It is very simple. Please go through it from Latchman, and if you have any doubt, I can explain it to you again. Okay, it is very simple test, so you have to know all the tests, very, very important. So I am explaining only this test in the today's video. The remaining test I will explain in the next video. Okay, so next we have to discuss about 2 machines. They are your capsule filling machines. Okay, so 2 new pieces of equipment, that is Rotoweigh and VariCap. Rotoweigh and VariCap, they determine the weight of the individual capsules, and they will help you to do automatic rejection of your overfilled and underfilled capsules. Okay, so first coming to Rotoweigh. This Rotoweigh, it's a high speed capsule weighing machine. The capsules are fed onto vacuum pins. From the vacuum pins, these capsules are presented to a unique weight detection system. So there is a weight detection system which will help you in detecting the weight of the capsules. Then which measures the reflected energy. Okay, you have X-ray beam here. So whatever the reflected beam is coming, that is from each capsule you are getting a reflected beam. So that reflected energy is directly proportional to the weight of the filled capsule. Okay, so this is an automatic machine. That is why it will help you in automatic rejection of any overfilled or underfilled capsule. And this machine operates at 73,000 capsules per hour, and its accuracy is more than adequate. Okay, it is more than adequate, and it is meeting all the USP weight requirements. Okay, so this is with your Rotoweigh. Nothing but you are presenting onto vacuum pins, you are providing X-ray beam. So whatever the reflected energy is coming from each capsule, that is proportional to the weight of the filled capsule. Okay, this is with your Rotoweigh. Next one is a VariCap 1200 machine. Okay, so it operates on the capacitance variation, detecting this VariCap, it works on detecting the capacitance variation. So this machine works on detecting the capacitance variation as the filled capsules are propelled at high speed. That means suppose there are 2 charged plates, and in between these 2 plates the capsules are propelled at high speed. Okay, the capsules are propelled at high speed in between these 2 charged plates. You will measure the capacitance difference and the dielectric constant. You will measure the dielectric constant. So the change in dielectric constant will be the change in dielectric constant. Is directly proportional to the weight of the, it's correlated, this is correlated with the weight of the capsule. So what is dielectric constant? Dielectric constant, it is nothing but a quantity which is measuring the ability of the substance to store electrical strength. How much a substance, that means each capsule, how much it can store an electrical field, how much electrical energy it can store. Okay, dielectric constant is nothing but a substance. It is a measure of how much electrical energy a substance can store when it is kept in an electric field. So here your electric field, there is 2 charged plates. In between you are propelling the capsules at high speed. So dielectric constant is nothing but the measure of the substance to store electrical energy when you are keeping them in an electrical field. So whatever the change in dielectric constant you are getting, that is correlated with the weight of your capsule. And capacitance is nothing but it is detecting capacitance variation, right? Capacitance is the ability of the system excuse me, ability of the system to store an electric charge. That is meant by capacitance. So by Vericap 1200 machine, the capsules that are overweight or underweight can be automatically separated from the acceptable capsules, and this machine operates at a rate of 73,000 capsules per hour. Similar to here, both of Rotoway and Vericap operates at 73,000 capsules per hour. Okay, so this is with your weight variation test. In the next class, we'll discuss about content uniformity and in vitro testing. Okay, please go through it from Latchman book, and if you have any doubts, please let me know.